Hey, 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 good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. In case you're wondering why I have this particular mug today, I came across it. Love is the reason for the season, which I really did for winter. But then I started realizing, wait a minute, it's Passover and it's Easter, and I apologize for not knowing what other holidays are, during this next week or two. But it's like we're so lucky to have that more than once a year, aren't we? Or as I like to say, every day has something to celebrate. But this time of year, this time of year is the time of year that we get brought together. Well, in some ways, although I keep saying next year, a full table. Yeah, that's the plan. Next year, a full table. Next year, the saying at Passover time is, I'm sorry, my hair was like, this is like a mirror. Do you know that? It's like a mirror. I see me, I don't see you. So I want you to be perfect. So I'm just fixing you. Yes. I'm pretending that I can see you. So I'm being a mom and, fixing your hair. Anyway, next year, I want a full, huge table of celebrating people at my house. Yeah, I do. This year, there weren't very many of us, but we did have some fun. How's that for a matzo ball, huh? Ba-rump, ba-rump. Yeah. I wanted to show you these because I don't think I really did a close-up the other day. Everybody who was here, and as I said, there were only 7 of us, plus Elijah, so 8. It wasn't a big party, but everybody got their own place card. This one was Elijah, aka Lenny, my dad. So I did Pharaoh with my father's face. Yeah. But then we had Kate and Katie who came to visit. And we had my grandson Max who was here to visit. Anyway, everybody was either Pharaoh or Moses. And finally, there was me. I was Moses. Anyway, it was a great day. It was a great day. And I have some new word art out of this. I'm going to be working on word art today, but one of them is going to say something like, to me, dirty dishes and lots of them simply mean I had company. I love company because love is the reason for the season. I took Fritzi her own little Seder. This is the Fritzi report I was promising you. I took Fritzi her own little Seder at the home yesterday. For those of you who are new, Fritzi is my mother. She's 97 and a half years old. She'll be 98 in July. She is an amazing, amazing fighter. She got through COVID. She got through pulmonary embolisms. She's just like this tough fighter lady. She does have dementia, but she is just as cute can be. And when I arrived yesterday with my little Seder in a bag, she was sort of half awake, half asleep. But when she saw me, she just lit up. Oh, you're here. You're so pretty. Now, some of you know I have waited my entire life to have my mother tell me I was pretty. She used to say I wasn't pretty, but I did have sparkly eyes. Well, I do have sparkly eyes. But now she thinks I'm pretty too. And it's so much fun to go visit her. A, because finally I'm allowed to see her in person, masked, of course, when anyone is actually watching us. But she tells me I'm pretty every 2 seconds. I told you she has dementia, so she doesn't have full-on conversations with me anymore. She'll answer questions, but I wonder sometimes whether or not she actually knows what we're talking about. And it doesn't matter because she's so happy to have me there. But every other word out of her mouth is, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. So, hey, I keep going back. I mean, who wouldn't want to hear that, right? 'Tis the season. Yesterday, I took her a little bit of homemade chopped liver and a little bit of homemade charosis, which is apples, nuts, and wine chopped up to symbolize the mortar between the bricks that the slaves used to build the pyramids for Pharaoh, right? I took her matzah. I took her a little haggadah. I took her a frog for the plagues. I took her a macaroon because that's a standard dessert. And I had it all in a bag and I was so excited to bring it to her. And just like with the flowers, she liked the frog. She liked the frog. I left the frog with her, but that was about all she wanted. It was just kind of cute. She really wasn't in much of a mood for conversation. And she told me she was so tired. So I said, okay, then why don't you go back to sleep and I'll come visit you tomorrow? And she was like a little kid. She looked up at me and she went like this. No. I said, no, you don't want me to come back? No. I said, you want me to stay? Yes. And I just started laughing. She was literally like a little child. And I took her hand, which made her smile even bigger. And I said, then I will sit right here with you, whether you're awake or you're asleep. I'll be sitting right here. And she said, can't you be closer? So I said, do you want me to get on the bed with you? And she went like this. So I sat on the edge of the bed and I held her hands and she smiled and smiled and smiled. And it was very uncomfortable. So I got on the chair next to the bed, but I pulled the chair right up next to her and got right in her face. And she put her hands out and she did one of these that mommies do. And I just gave her kisses all over her face and she was kissing me back. And it was like, it was just awesome. It was so sweet. And when I did this to her face, she just lit up. You know what? As nice as the people are there in the home, we all need to be touched and hugged and loved. Okay, I'm a little famished. I admit it. I'm a little verklempt. Here's a toast to all of you who cannot hug and touch your mama anymore. Just know that I know Fritzi was resonating everywhere. She was sharing that love with all the mamas who were, are, and ever will be. Here's to mamas. It was a really good visit yesterday. It was a really good visit. Yeah, so that's the Fritzi report. Yay, Fritzi. I don't know what I did with my glasses. Can't find my glasses because I didn't have my glasses on. I know you so wish you could. Ugh, we all do. Yeah. Oh, and thanks for agreeing about the dirty dishes thing. That may be some new word art. It's true, though, isn't it? You don't have to love doing dishes, but when you think about why you have them, it means you ate. And if you have lots of them, it either means you've been lazy for a while or you got to share with other people. Either way, it's so awesome. Okay, can we move on? Because I have so much to talk about today. Flies. Can we talk about flies? There's a thing called a dynamo, something or other. I got to look into it. See, here in the desert, we don't worry too much about all kinds of bugs and flying things, but flies. So many flies. So I'm looking for something to get rid of the flies. And I think my son-in-law came up with something that might work. So I'm going to go check it out. It's not cheap, but it's not crazy expensive either. I mean, it'd be worth it if I didn't have to worry about flies. Not a fan of flies. Yesterday was leftover day, by the way. Yep. I love the day after Passover's first night, because it means that we've got chicken soup and charoset and chopped liver and brisket and twice baked potatoes and fresh vegetables. all in leftover quantities. So yesterday we have this big, well, you've seen it because I used to do my morning thing from the kitchen, big countertop in the kitchen, covered it with every kind of food. And everybody just took plates, warmed things up. Oh, it was heaven. I mean, and all the things I forgot to put out on the table, like those yummy little soup nuts. Anyway, happy leftover day yesterday. Today is National Lemon Chiffon Cake Day. First of all, I can't be bothered to make chiffon cake. Way too much work. I saw this morning, I don't know if she's watching, but Sherry York did biscuits in the pan that look, oh my God, one more week after Passover, I got to try those. And yesterday, because half of the people here for Seder were not Jewish, they brought this starter, the girls did, Kate and Katie. They brought starter and they made the most beautiful pretzels, homemade, I have ever seen in my life. Can't wait to have a homemade pretzel. Oh, today is National Smoke and Mirrors Day. You know what that means? More magic. Don't you love magic? I love magic. I just love attributing things to magic. When people say, how did you do that? I just say it's magic. And I think you probably know that I used to be a magician's assistant. So when people would say, how did he do it? How did he do it? My pat answer was when he taught me. Can you keep a secret? And of course, people get very excited and they say, I can keep a secret. Yes, yes, yes. And I go like this. So can I. Okay. That's all I have to say about magic. Today's the anniversary of the death of John Jacob Astor. I'm sure you've heard of the Astors, right? Because he was indeed the first American multimillionaire. He did it in the fur trade, and apparently it wasn't always perfectly legit. Just saying. But he was America's first multimillionaire. And while we mention him, it is also the birthday, although he's birthday in heaven time, of Sam Walton. He sounds like he should have been, like with John Boy, but he's the guy. Now listen to his name, Sam Walton. He's the one who founded Walmart. And in case you didn't know it, also Sam's Club. Yeah. That guy died. He was worth $8.6 billion. He turned Walmart into the biggest commercial department store, venture, whatever you want to call it, ever. So I checked to see if the Waltons still own all of that stuff. And apparently they owned it. They owned like 50.5% until December of 2014 or something, or something like that. And then they sold some off. So now they own just under 50%. So I guess they don't have the controlling interest anymore. I don't think. But I bet you they have like billions of dollars. So it's okay. I'm not feeling sorry for them. Oprah says, I have a great bra that is my smoke and mirror. That's funny. Okay, what else? Oh, it's my twin's birthday. Elle McPherson, I'm celebrating right with you, darling. Isn't it amazing how much we look alike? Elle McPherson and I? I know, right? Oh, this was so cool. Remember the other day I told you there was a drought and it was so bad that for a short time the Niagara Falls was dry, which to me was like shocking. But I guess it wasn't the only time that happened, because in 1848, get this, there was an ice jam in the upper Niagara Falls, and it blocked all the water coming from the other falls until it melted. Have you ever been there? We were talking about it at dinner the other night. It is equally as magnificent as anything you could ever imagine it is. I remember the first, I'm sorry, I keep sniffing. That's so rude. It's a little allergy time, I guess. Anyway, Niagara Falls is awesome. It's awesome. It's well worth the adventure. And hey, it's an outdoor trip, so that's good. It's mom and pop business day. Go support the moms and pops. Instead of going to a chain restaurant, go to the mom and pop restaurant. Go support some online person, if you will, who's just a mom and pop operation. Let's get them back in the economy, huh? Support your local small business. Go to the farmer's market. Do what you can to help people pop back through this pandemic. You can do it. It's up to us. Seriously, it is up to us. Okay. In 1974, not that long ago, actually. Well, if you're my age, it's not that long ago. Anyway, there was this accidental discovery in China. Farmers were digging out in the field and they hit something and they ended up finding 8,000 clay warriors buried in the ground. And these clay warriors, I can't remember what it said, but it was like each one was like 6 feet tall and 600 pounds or something like that. And they found 8,000 of them buried in the ground. And it turns out that what was discovered was these Terracotta Warriors, as they're called, from China, were built to not defend, because there wasn't a war. They were built to guard the tomb of the first emperor of China. That's what it was. So it was like a couple, years ago, 4,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Oh, I saw some. That's what I wanted to tell you. I happened to be in New York in 2012, and unbeknownst to me, I just went, exploring, and there I am with, some of it was a great exhibit. It was more than just that. It was also some other artifacts from there, but I actually got to see what those warriors looked like, and it was breathtaking. And then to imagine there being 8,000 of them that someone actually built back then. It wasn't like they got them, fabricated somewhere. Hey, I know there's a bunch of you out there. Who else is out there? Say good morning. Hi, John B. JB, what's happening, baby? Love it when you guys share mornings with me. I do. 1959, the movie Some Like It Hot came out. That was with Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and Marilyn Monroe. I know we've talked about that movie because it's special to my heart, because the story was so fun for me. First of all, the movie was great, but I was watching it. I must have been, I'm going to guess, like 8 or 9. I'm not sure it was an entirely appropriate movie at the time, but I was watching it and I was really enjoying it. And my parents came in and said, okay, bedtime. And I said, but my movie's not over. And my father said, okay, don't worry, I'll watch it and tell you how it ends. And we argued about that for a while because that's what kids do. But finally, because he's the dad and I'm the kid, I acquiesced and went to sleep, knowing that in the morning at breakfast, my dad would tell me how it ended. And at breakfast, my dad told me he forgot to watch it. And back in those days, you couldn't just look on another channel or on Netflix and watch it again. So I had to wait 20 years before it was on again and I could watch it. So now I know how it ended, but I'm not telling. I'll tell you when you wake up. 1945, Jimmy Stewart went from private to full colonel. Jimmy Stewart, great actor, but 45, it was the Warriors. He went into the war. He went in as a private, and 4 years later, he came out as a full colonel. That doesn't happen very often. And I'm forced to think, did it have something to do with the fact that he was Jimmy Stewart? And I think maybe it did. My father was, I think he was a private. Then he was a private first class. Then I think he got busted back down to private. But when he grew up, he was on all these presidential committees and helped design the Abrams tank. And he was serving on these presidential committees with all these full bird colonels who assumed he was the same, but he wasn't. He was just a private, and that made him very proud. Which just goes to prove you may be a private, and then a colonel, and then a private, and then a colonel. Life is a roller coaster. That's what it says in the Wordart. Check it out. Life is a roller coaster. There are ups and there are downs. And it's kind of like go with the flow. Enjoy the ups and the downs. And of course, if you look at what Tracy posted on What Do I Say, What Do I Do, you'll find out that they're very closely related, as usual, because great minds. All right, it's Monday. Go out there and knock it off the charts. Have the best Monday ever. I'm playing tennis today. I'm back to me. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Happy end of March. And remember, love is the reason for the season. A sip and a smile. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.